Today, I'm calling MEmu the best emulator for 2025, and I'll prove why in a minute. Before we dive into gameplay or app testing, I'm going to tune it properly so you don't have to watch a separate optimization video. We'll do it right here, clean and simple. I'm opening Multi-MEmu. You'll see it ships with a built-in Android 9.0 64-bit template that shows roughly 50 megabytes on disk, and the status is powered off because we haven't booted it yet. That tiny footprint is normal pre-boot. We'll configure things first, then launch. Down at the bottom, there are two areas that matter most to gamers: window and optimization. Window doesn't affect performance, it's just layout. You can tweak window layout, spacing, window size, and a couple of quality of life switches like remembering window positions and keeping windows from spilling off screen when you sort them. I'm leaving all that as is because it won't change FPS or stability. Now the real meat, optimization. First, pick the Android instance you want to tweak. I'm selecting the default one and heading straight into optimization settings. In performance, you'll see presets, and you can also go custom if you want to micromanage, but the presets are solid. The dropdown gives you low, medium, high, and top, with the CPU and RAM allocations listed right there so you can match it to your hardware. I'm on 32 gigs of RAM and 8 logical cores available for the emulator, so high or top is perfectly fine for me. Frame rate next. It's set to 20 FPS by default, which is okay for light app use, but for gaming you want it smoother, bump that to 60 FPS for a consistent feel. Render mode. There are two options, DirectX and OpenGL. MEmu defaults to DirectX, and that's usually the best pick on Windows, especially if you've got a dedicated GPU. If you're on older or integrated graphics and notice visual glitches or random crashes, that's when switching to OpenGL can stabilize things. Otherwise, leave it on DirectX and you're good. Audio stays on the Windows default output device, so it follows whatever you're using on the desktop. No need to touch it. And make sure Enable GPU Memory Optimization is turned on. That tends to help with compatibility and keeps frame pacing more consistent during longer sessions. Hit OK to apply. That's the quick gamer setup done. No fluff, just the stuff that actually matters. Now let's fire it up and see how it runs. Before we actually launch the emulator, let me show you something nice. Now I've got Android 12 available here. To add that, just hit New at the bottom, select Android 12 and create the instance. Once that's done, launch it up. Now, here's a little thing to clear. Some people might see it as a disappointment, but honestly, I don't. If you compare MEU with something like BlueStacks, BlueStacks is just too bloated with ads and unnecessary stuff. Yeah, it's not really expensive, a couple bucks a month if you go premium, but still ads are baked in. With MEmu, it's way lighter. In fact, in the hour I've been using it, I've only seen a single video ad at startup. That's nothing compared to how aggressive others can be. And once you're in-game, it won't disturb you at all. Now, when I first ran Android 12 on MEU, I noticed a black screen when opening Play Store. Easy fix, though. Switch your render mode from DirectX to OpenGL. It'll work fine. After logging in and downloading your games, you can switch back to DirectX if your system handles it. Otherwise, just stick with OpenGL for stability. Another cool thing I found is that MEmu supports up to 240 FPS. It's not unlocked by default, so you'll need to go into settings and set it yourself. If you've got a high refresh rate monitor, that's a sweet upgrade. There's also an ASTC texture cache option. Turn that on if your game is stuttering. Basically, it pre-generates cache to smoothen things out. And yes, there's root mode too, but that's more for advanced users, not something most gamers need. Overall, it feels lightweight, nearly ad-free, and genuinely gamer-friendly. Just a quick tweak here and there, like the Play Store fix, and you're good. For me, it's been reliable all the way back when I was running a Core 2 Duo, then later on an i5 3rd Gen, i7 4th Gen, Ryzen 3600, and now even with a Ryzen 7 series, it's still one of my go-to emulators simply because of how light and stable it is. To wrap this up, I'm not the type to blindly support something just because I like it, but honestly, MEmu in 2025 makes a solid case for itself. Lightweight, almost ad-free, and with Android 12 plus 240 FPS support, that's hard to beat. Tell me in the comments which game you want me to test next, PUBG Mobile, Free Fire, or something else you'd like to see. For now, take care and Allah Hafiz.